it's easy to control an empty vessel more than it is to actually control the full vessel.
Oh my fucking god! Sorry, this is way out of topic. This is
Yeah.
This is like yesterday. Nah, I was chilling with my broella that came back from Josie.
Yeah.
So he had these other two girls who were there. Bro, these girls were explaining how. Really? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to yet another episode of Chat Like Chat. You know what it is. It's your boy Bangs over here, and on my right, I've got my ninja, my brother from another mother. He has something to share with us from this past weekend, my boy.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Vanka_SA down with the boy with another episode of GLC. I've got good news to share with you people. First of all, let me start with the haircut.
Sure, boy. I need to freshen up. I'm
doing something different, brother.
I
check. So, came to the Easter weekend, man. I hope everybody enjoyed the Easter weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope it was a blessed one with your family and vibes and whatsoever. If you're looking for Easter eggs, I hope you found them. If you, I mean,
let's hope you did find them.
You know, that's what it's about. If you're looking for Easter eggs, I hope you found them. If you were if you're waiting for him to rise, he has risen. Yeah, all that other stuff, you know.
Otherwise, boy, tell us what kind of news you got for us, fam? What kind of news you got for us? I know.
I got a few.
I think and everybody in our team knows, but let's let the gents know.
I got a few things here and there, man. For starters, I got baptized this weekend. Stop playing with me.
Yes, sir.
You know,
dunk you in water.
Yeah, bro, and I almost cast, dog. Like oh man. Thing is, the water was too cold, man.
And you were almost like, fuck,
bro. Well, I'm literally going in there, and I'm like. And the pot, man, there's like two pastors in there, obviously, right? Because I'm a big dude, right?
Yeah.
And then, man is like, did I hear you trying to say something? And then I'm like, what? Me? Never.
What? I could never be me.
You know?
Could never be me.
And then this man's like, did I hear you trying to utter words of war? And I'm like, nah, bro, it's not even
utter words of war.
And it's like, not
it's on site.
I'm like, it's not even like that. It's like, did it start with an F? I'm like, this other pastor's dying, bro. Man is cracking. You
hey, man.
And then I'm like, nah, could never. Then he was like, this is your old self dying. We don't want you to come back. I'm just like,
is yo. He really dead though?
Yeah, is man. Really dead, man. You know.
Really dead?
It's a fresh start, man. You know, it's a fresh start, like spiritually, man.
Yeah.
War already and all that other stuff, you know. So.
Yeah.
You know.
How is that going for you, bruh? Like your spiritual journey. How is that going for you? Going to church every Sunday. Could never be me. Going to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Like basically going like on a Sunday to Sunday type of thing, like church all the time.
I'm not gonna lie, and it's a bit tough, dog. I'm not gonna lie, bro, because it's just, sometimes I don't want to wake up, dog, because I'm just like, for me the weekend is for resting, right?
Yeah.
Because during the week can be so overwhelming, but I know with like a lot of the things that are happening, on the weekend, dog, let me rest.
Chill, yeah. You just wanna chill.
But then I decided to actually be on some, different type of business and actually hop on and go to church. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been an experience. Yeah, well.
Oh, good for you, man.
First time going to church, I won't lie, dog. Church goes are beautiful, dog.
Bro, come on. What did I say?
No, hear me out.
What did I say?
The thing is,
bro, when did you get baptized? What day? On what day?
Saturday. Yeah.
2 days, bruv. 2 days.
You're not hearing me.
2 days.
Let me land.
2 days, bruv.
Let me land. Why in this intro?
Alright.
What you call this? My first time going to church, and I went to church and I remember I'm sending a message to the gents. I was like, hey gents, go to church. Aku mankazana. And the brothers laughed, but then the more I started going, the more I kept on going with it, the more I kept on meditating and doing all the other stuff. I mean, I've been going there flopping from time to time. I'm not perfect at the end of the day, man. Eventually I stopped seeing it that way, you know. Now I'm seeing these beautiful women as sisters. But if they want to go there.
You heard that, nah?
It's just a joke.
You heard that.
This is a calm podcast, bro.
But anyway, hey man, alright guys, Konzan.
Yeah, man, you know, and
go to church. Like, I really love people who go to church. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Like when someone's like, "I'm going to church." I'm like, "Yeah, man."
For sure.
Pray for us. You know, like yeah, man. Like I'm really like for it. Like I try not to shame people who go to church. Yeah, boy.
For sure.
Because I'm like, me, church, nope.
I think another thing is actually gonna come to you. People can't actually force you and to actually try and like at church. For me, and I grew up in a Christian family, and where everybody's like,
same.
Yeah, let me land my story.
Okay. No, you said that as if like I grew up and like
I'm trying
do
to
whatever the hell you want.
No, I'm trying to make a point.
Okay.
And on why people can't force you to go to church. So I grew up in a Christian family, right? Where everybody's a church goer, yeah, more. And they actually made me go to church as well. But for the longest time in my life, and I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, well, because it just, I'm not gonna get deep into it and but like, I didn't see it until I had to see it on my own. Yeah, boy. And for the longest time, I didn't actually have that belief bangabana, a being or someone that I've never met before could actually help me in my life, whereas I've never even physically seen this person or felt this person at all. Yeah, boy. So there's a situation like that, I was like, yeah,
that's that about me, Kene. That's the biggest misconception about me.
Yeah.
In the sense that just because I don't go to church does not mean I don't believe in God. Yeah, but I believe in God. I believe that God exists because you cannot believe in something that you've seen before.
Yeah.
You can only trust something that you've seen
and
before.
And that is faith.
Yeah. So if you've never seen something before, the only time you that's the only way you can believe and you have faith. Yeah, Bonabana. I've never seen it before, but I know that everywhere, and even though I don't go to church, I know that there is no good that will never happen in your life if you don't walk the way God wants you to walk.
Facts.
Yeah, bro. And those are pretty much a few of the things that I understand. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I don't go to church. It's because I just cannot deal with church. Like, I cannot deal with church, bro. I'd like to praise God and I'd like to honor God in my own way, not in a way in order for me to be a true Christian or a true believer, I have to go to a building so that I pray and listen to someone tell me something that I can read off a Bible that I can interpret for myself.
Hear you.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna preach something to me. I can't quote scriptures because I'm not that deep.
I was actually gonna say. I'm
not that deep.
I was gonna say, give me time.
Yeah.
In this church business.
Yeah.
Let me read the Bible more.
Yeah.
And then I'm a holler at you and be like, why you should go to church.
Yeah, well,
but for now, I'm just gonna be like.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna quote any scriptures because I'm not that deep. Yeah. But like as I was saying, dog, I'm not that deep, and I won't go like deep into it. Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, guys, people must go to church. It's good for people to go to church. Don't take the road I'm taking. I will get to that part of my life at a later stage.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, man, go to church. Understand how God works, understand who God is, and understand his place in your life, yeah, bro. Understand his place in your life, yeah, bro. That's the one person that does not come last. But yeah.
But all I'm saying to it is that...
Pause.
What do you mean?
Pause.
What do you mean pause?
You didn't hear that? None of you heard that?
But yeah.
Okay, great. Y'all didn't hear it. Y'all didn't hear it. Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, but what I'm saying is that give me time to read on it and go there. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna educate you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to convince you, but at a later stage, not now.
I hate that.
What?
Stop convincing me. Don't convince me.
I'm not trying to convince you to go to church. I'm trying to convince you why going to church could be a good thing.
But you're convincing me to go to church.
I'm not telling you to go to church.
At the end of the day, that's why you are telling me that.
I'm not
you are telling me that
you're not
just so I can get motivated that I can go to church.
No, you're not hearing me. It's like this thing and of people saying you don't need school, and then there are other guys that are like you need school. Yeah, but so it's the thing where I'm just gonna tell you about
Y'all hear me, right? Y'all hear me.
No, I hear you, but you're not hearing me as well.
Alright.
Yeah, boy.
Alright.
I'm telling you both sides. When I walk on your end and you only have one side, and I'm gonna let you have both sides and still choose. I'm not gonna tell you about to church, but I'd be happy if you had both sides.
Alright.
Yeah, boy.
Alright.
But we're not gonna block on that for long, Donna.
Anyways, oh yeah.
What were you gonna say?
What was he gonna say? Oh damn, Benzo Tini.
Can't overtake it, dog. Did you see that war between Americans and South Africans? On that Zulu.
For that shit.
On that Zulu parade.
For that shit. There's that girl on TikTok.
Oh my God,
her handle is I complain.
Oh my God.
Her responses to American is so funny, bro. It's so funny. And I remember this other American commented on one of the videos this other person made. It's like, oh, at least we don't have to travel for water. We don't have to travel 2 miles to get water. And this other person's response was literally a glass in a sink, and that person opens the tap, and then the water overflows in the glass, obviously. And it's like, damn, I am so tired. I had to walk 2 miles. Bro. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, bro. Like, you are allowed to be, as a person, I think you're allowed to be dumb. Just don't be American dumb, bruh. Don't be I feel like being dumb as an American is just the worst thing that could ever happen in your life.
It's the worst kind of dumb, but I'm gonna not be too much on my people, because at the end of the day, they're my melanated brothers and sisters, and that's where Dr. Umar comes from, you know.
But Dr. Umar is smart. Dr. Umar is smart, bro.
I know, but
them motherfuckers is dumb.
Allow me to land, brother. Allow me to land. I feel like the American government has a big role in Americans actually being like that. I don't know why they did it, but they have a big role in Ghana.
Everyone has a big role. Sometimes it's very easy to shift. Okay, let me not say shift, but like it's very easy looking at one direction, but then we don't want to look at this other direction whereby they are very ignorant.
Oh, definitely. Americans are their oppressors. They're too far gone.
Like they really are ignorant. It's like they don't want to learn. Like it's like they don't want to operate shit.
But no, will you really want to learn? And then when your whole life you've been told the would see, great America's great. America, the only country in the world does that. Well, even in their sports, they go like, what you call this? They call them world finales, but they're only being held in America. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, world what? But only in America. And then you on the outside person is like, which world is this?
Exactly. Hence I'm saying they are very ignorant.
No. The reason why I say the government had a big role to play is because of how the government actually advertises and actually promotes America to the people. Make America great. Nah. Education system, yeah, but when these other people were talking to South Africans, they learned to Kutibangabana. Americans don't learn about other countries outside of America.
Yeah.
The only thing they know about South Africa is Mandela. Hence you still get some Americans till this day asking, yo, Mandela, Free Mandela, and you're thinking, damn, dog.
Free Mandela. It's been 24 years. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, and then a whole lot of things like that. It's because of the education system. So that's why I'm saying, Bangabana, the government actually has a big role in making Americans like that. And we can't actually run away from the fact that yes, they're ignorant, but they were brought up to be ignorant.
The best way to control masses is to dumb them down.
Exactly.
Fair.
And that's
fair.
The best way in order to bro. Like,
bro, 8.
Bro, 8 with
8. Bro, 8 with a one-liner. Bro, 8 with a one-liner.
And it's like the same thing, no, with like colonization everywhere, and the best way to control people. We both did history. What did the conquistadors do to when they arrived in Americas?
Make it conquistador times? Damn, my memory is not that far.
Okay, cool. Look, and when the conquistadors arrived in America, right? What they did was they met the Mayans and the Aztecs, right?
Okay, and I remember that word.
Yeah, they didn't. The word.
Bro, it's taking me back to a poquito history class, bro. Like, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that.
The point that I'm trying to make, dog, and is that they didn't just go there and like automatically colonize the people. For starters, and they destroyed what you call the scrolls. They destroyed worshiping grounds. They destroyed educational grounds. They killed the old people of that land. About to make sure the young people didn't have no one else to look up to teach them about how we used to do things or how to do things. It's easy to control an empty vessel more than it is to actually control a full vessel.
Oh my fucking god! Sorry, this is way out of topic. Yeah. This is like yesterday. I was chilling with my broella that came back from Josie.
Yeah.
So he had these other 2 girls who were there. Bro, these girls were explaining how. Really? This girl was explaining how underpaid educators are, and how the education's but discriminative the education system is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this girl is like, she's a TA. She's a teacher's assistant.
Yeah.
White schools don't want them.
Dead ass.
White schools don't want them. Udlamnana, she was studying at the time. Remember back when she was studying, she remembers.
She remembers. Fair, how many kids from VP and Alex have you heard talk about teachers' assistants?
From
all of these born in prestigious schools.
Prestigious. Yeah. So guess up.
What?
Prestigious. Those are not prestigious schools.
Like, forget the ones that I mentioned, but like these proper schools. How many of them have you actually heard speak about assistant teachers?
I've never. Never heard any of them. But Lamna, she was even explaining, even in uni they do that. Even in uni they do that. She was saying one time, she remembers she was in class, and then there's like a variety of people, there's whites, blacks, coloreds and stuff, right? One piece of, like, an exam paper, right? It's one's in English and one's in Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Hey, boy, what's the closer one?" "No, man, you guys can read." That was the response. "No, man, you guys can read." Read it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "What if this other person reads better in Xhosa or their native language than they do in English or any other language?"
Yeah.
Like, "No, man, don't be lazy. Just read."
We only had one Xhosa teacher, or black teacher, in high school.
But yeah.
And she taught Xhosa.
Who the f*** is Miss Funny? Oh, I remember Miss Funny. And then she left.
Yeah.
And then she left.
And then they had another one. One more black one. They substitute. We lose a black one, we add another black one.
The only other black teacher that they had was
No,
she
man.
taught maths during my time.
Okay, I know.
What did she teach?
It's class.
The only other subject that we only had was Mr.
Yeah.
Balut. Excuse me, Balutat. Who's this guy?
Oh, I'm playing. Risty. Yeah, I met him sometime last year.
Oh, I remember.
When she spoke about him spanking her and say, "Oh, my man,"
something like that, bro. I'm like, this nigga's touching kids. moves. Hi-bo.
No, but I linked them, dog, sometime. And I think last year, right? December. I was helping my
You linked
uncle.
who? Last year, December.
Sometime, man. Last year, I don't know.
Last year? Before December, the fuck you talking about?
I don't know when, but sometime last year. But in New Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I linked them sometime, but it was during holiday season.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just not sure when. And I was like, shit, dog. I was like, yo. It was like, yeah. I was like, hey, good in. And then I'm like, yo, I was like, yo, you know?
Oh, shit.
And
Speaking.
And then
okay,
he spoke about myself, I'm cold. And then he wanted to challenge me on a push-off. I'm just like, time to relax.
Why are we doing that?
What? I'm gonna flatten you. I'm not gonna...
Speaking of teachers, have you seen
Yeah, bro, she got fat. Oh, nah, not like that. Not...
Mental health, Junior.
I'm taking this away.
tea time,
but she no longer teaches there. She's actually at DF.
But like he's not lying because I see her pictures a lot on Facebook because we're Facebook friends. She gained a little bit of weight.
No, man. Was sick.
No, was sick.
With what?
No, with this other thing. When you guys were left,
you guys are already
I went
gone.
to see 2023.
She was already diagnosed with what she had at the time. Because I remember she got diagnosed. I think in 20.
When we were there.
Yeah, she got diagnosed in 2020. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember she was telling it to us in 2021. So they were saying that she couldn't drink anymore and she couldn't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
But guess the fuck what?
Yeah, don't give a shit.
Don't give a damn, bro. Don't give a damn. She was still doing that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, go on, bro. Go on, bro.
But then she did say good something about the medication that she's taking is actually making her gain weight.
Gain weight.
Yo, because I said so back in our school. I was like, hey, man, you're actually putting it on.
She had her notes.
Her notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was putting on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
High school days.
I remember what you called this the time when I failed a tourism test for the first time. Nah, bro, I was embarrassing, bro. Because come on, we come from not studying but still passing. And then that time, dog, we did something with it. But I think it was an exam or something. But it was like a mid-year test.
Oh shit!
Like,
no, it was an
time?
assignment.
It was an assignment.
It was an assignment. Shit, that shit was long, bruv.
Bruh.
She gave us that months prior.
Yeah, and then I came through and I think I got like, I got a 7 out of 100 or something. I won't lie. I did it the night before. And because I never actually failed a assessment in there.
Yeah, you were like, what the fuck?
Nah, but she wrote what the fuck on my assignment.
What the fuck?
You know, because when she was handing out I got in the class and remember that time I could my money and everything. Got in the class, I went there.
Hey, yo, is that nigga still rapping?
I don't know. I don't know.
Damn, I think it still is. I'm not quite sure. I haven't like. Okay, let me put it like this. A nigga looks like a para.
Hey, boy,
that nigga that said what did he say to him? And then he said remember when he said that?
I remember when he said that.
Whole class went quiet, like
the whole class went quiet. The whole class felt that one. Everyone was like, yo, right.
Yeah. But it's this other nigga, bro.
He's quite a good rapper, Shem. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, it was that era, dog. Yeah, so is there at the class? Like I'm getting in class, right? Looks at me with that face, bangabana.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, and then I'm just like, why is she mad? Like, I go there, Noana, I sit down, and then she's handing out everyone's marks, like, Bunny, you got this. Bunny, you got this. And then she calls up.
I remember that I barely passed that thing. Because it took so much time and effort. It was like, what am I gonna travel? Where am I gonna travel to anyways? So yeah,
so she's calling out everyone's marks, and then everybody has like a sticker, barabana.
Yeah.
And then,
you could have done better.
yeah, and then she comes to me, bro. She goes like, "Snake man." Then I'm like, "No, what's it?"
What's it?
And then she's like, "You disappointed me." It felt personal, bro, because was talking like a parent. I'm just like, yo, relax, dog. Treat me like the other kids.
There's nothing worse than the teacher pulling the D word, bro. Like, you
Bruh.
That's crazy. Yo, bruh. Nah, man. Yo, I remember high school days. High school days were fun.
Nah, dog.
High school days were fun.
Do you want to know why that day stands out for me? Because niggas laughed at me.
What were you expecting, dog? What were you expecting, dog? Niggas were gonna laugh.
Like Zio's, I'm like, yes, name
No, because who the fuck gets a 7 out of 100?
No, bro, you don't get it.
You don't get it. La way to underestimate. Sonke. We all underestimated that shit. Yeah, bro. And everyone just barely passed. Yeah, bro.
Do you know how hard I had to pull after getting that 7 out of 100? I couldn't fail anything after that.
Sure. You couldn't, bro.
And you know what the funny part is? Everybody failed and everybody's laughing.
No, but niggas not what I need.
It's one of those when a breezy niggas would get almost it's out of 100, yeah, bro. So niggas would get like a 30, niggas would get like a 40, niggas would get like no one got above 60 for that thing.
Yeah.
No one got above 60 for that thing, right?
And then here's me doing it the previous night, like the night before. I'm starting it,
bro. He stood out, bro. He was the only one. Well, he wasn't the only one that failed, but he got the lowest mark.
Sure.
No, not the lowest mark, dog. But I think it was because the relationship we had with.
Yeah, I think she gave us time to redo that shit.
No, she did.
She gave us time to read. Yeah.
The second time I knocked it, but I think the relationship we had.
Yo, sorry. Were you in my English class at some point, like in grade 10?
I don't know.
Well, I remember calling you to him say, but I saw.
Okay, no, I was never in your class.
Yeah, you went to my class at that time. Whoa, bro, Lamnana, bro, she will boldly say, "Give me 0, man."
Damn.
And you know what did?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh no, ma'am, give me 0. Give me 0.
Pause.
No, but listen. And then La Mama would be like, before she moved to Canada, I forgot her name. Yeah, but she would be like, those who still want to read.
No, man.
I saw
the fat teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, you were in my class. Yeah, Mona. And then that would be like, I give me 0, ma'am. And then would also be like, give me 0, ma'am. And then La Mama would say like, those who still want to do their orals, they can come after school. Yeah, boy. I saw walking in class after school, dog. I saw walking in class after school. I think we were doing musical practice at the time.
When parents say bangaban.
Yeah. I carried that shit. Y'all never had that?
Wait,
I carried that shit.
Okubani, when parents say what you call this, Dana, be careful of each homie.
She's an example of that. Would deliberately not do her work,
bro,
and her friends would follow. But as soon as go to her,
pass, and then
we called her out on it one time. I remember she was close, everyone was just chilling, and then me and Mango were just having a conversation. Then we go
on the other
on the other end, and then they busy chatting, and then sort of moves to another table to go talk to some other people. So just because we have launched so each of you telling your friends or you're influencing your friends to not study, and then you would act like you're doing the same, but then you get home and then you study, and then she hysterically laughed, bro. I'm like, you take people for a ride.
The deceiver.
Was literally the deceiver, bro.
Get that. Whoa.
Get that. For sure, a moment came about. No, man. No.
Yeah.
No, because another thing, I think it came through, because she was trying to converse with us way too much.
Yeah.
And she actually did. So we were like, no.
No, man. Come on. Something's off about you. Something's off about
because
you.
I think the Wokian moved her to us.
Yeah.
And then I was just talking way too much. You're like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Nah.
We are actually struggling.
Sure.
We are actually struggling. And then called us out after La Webara. Yeah, we should keep doing that up.
We should tell because does that to all of her friends. And then called out her friends that are repeating grades. That's what you call us years ahead of them. Did that to one man.
Name dropping.
And I'm just like, damn.
Sure.
Like, damn, man.
And then I saw a couple of years later. I think this is Pumila High School. And this is a high school. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
But hey, man,
Also did see that.
high school times were fun, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a banger after banger after banger. But yeah, that's why I'm bang.
That's why you
But like aside from that, now one thing that I actually want to close off with today
Yeah. You close it off. Close it off, boy.
is actually what's happening between China and America, dog. Did you see it?
I saw it. We're gonna touch on it next episode.
Ah, come on.
We're gonna
dog.
touch on it next episode.
Just a bit of saying made in China.
We're gonna touch.
Just a bit of saying.
We're gonna touch on it next episode.
Nah.
Please. Let's touch on it next
But it's
episode.
gonna die.
It's not gonna die. It's not gonna die.
But China's throwing hands.
China's throwing hands, dog.
Chance, please.
China's throwing hands.
Let's touch on it next week, Yandela. Can we just gather a lot more information that we know off on our dome?
Let's close it off by saying this, and gents, go to the Chinese store, get your girl a Louis bag without the tag.
Without the tag.
And isn't it crazy? Imagine finding out to go to the bag that you went to Dubai for, and they shat on your mouth.
Oh, you take it too deep.
I told you. Let's touch on
Only
it next
God.
week.
Imagine.
Thank you for tuning in on this week's episode.
Imagine.
We love y'all.
They cracked
We love
you.
y'all.
They cracked you for a Louis bag that only cost
subscribe, and
500.
follow. We're gonna touch on this one next week. We'll pick it up next week. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Until next time,
We're
gents.
closing it off.
We're closing it off.
This is y'all's the episode, yeah?
Helpless come on meet. Helpless come on meet. Helpless come on meet. Helpless come on meet.